Oh yeah. What is going on with my camera again? Huh. I was doing this the other day. And for some reason, it's not popping up on my deal. I'm trying to remember how I fixed this the other day. Why is it not popping up? Anyways, while I'm working on this, so I decided I want to go live for a little bit. Kind of need to. There's a lot going on. There's absolutely a lot going on right now that we in this amazing little. Oh yeah, that could be why. Yeah, that's why. Amazing little thing going on out there, which I just realized I'm going live on YouTube, so I'm hopefully this don't get me banned off there. I don't know why YouTube popped up on that thing there, but apparently I am. So hey, everybody. Um, so I mean, there's been a lot going on. Um, we had the attempted assassination on President Trump. That shit was that was debacle. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll put it this way: the thing was planned. That was straight up planned by the cabal, the so-called people in charge. Um, not a fan of that. Really not a fan of that. Which I knew that was what was going to happen. That's if you follow a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, they all pointed to this was going to happen, and they've been trying to do this for a long time. They just finally got around. I have to be careful because I broke my chair the other day, so I'm like on pins and needles when it comes down with this until I can get some money to get me a new chair. I broke one of the legs off of it. That's remains of the leg. I tried fixing it, but it just ain't fixing. I was kind of curious what you all thought. I mean, for me personally, I can tell you now, this was set up by the ball to take him out. 100% this was planned. This he was. They know they've lost the election. Sleepy Joe ain't never getting in there. He's just not. I don't foresee him stepping down, but if his string puller Obama gets what he wants, they'll have him step down here soon. So kind of curious. I know they gave him an ultimatum, but they've always given him an ultimatum, and he ain't never followed it. So I don't see him following it anytime soon. Whenever his wife Jill decides to let him step down, that's when he'll step down. I mean, at some point in time, this is going to have to be considered elderly abuse because they're letting some guy that clearly is not capable of sitting in that office stay in there, and it's because his wife, Dr. Jill, who's actually just a freaking educational doctor, and that stupid crap Whoopi said, "Oh, she needs to be the next Surgeon General. I'd have her work." Oh my God, that was so retarded. That just shows you right there how much them people do not pay the damn attention. Hey, Corey. Sorry, this is live on YouTube, so I'm going to have to mind my P's and Q's. I don't know why I'm live on YouTube. I'm actually live on my Rumble. So I'm going to have to watch my P's and Q's. And that was not planned. But anyways, at some point in time, Jill's going to have to let in and let him out. And I guarantee you that's who's still got him in there. But the assassination attempt, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, you look at it at a military standard. I was Yankee Whites. That's the Marines you see around the president. And I can tell you now how the Secret Service works. That 100% was, hey, Miss Moon. Yeah. I decided to come on here live. We was on the Weirdo Warrior chats talking about stuff, and I didn't realize time. I've been busier than heck up today. I've been out doing yard work, bouncing around between doing yard work and working on my latest book, which I went ahead and posted the winner of the new book cover. That's on my author's Facebook page now. But I'm almost done with chapter 3 of that new book. I decided to start when I was working on my truck the other day. And the other day I was replacing all 302 sensors, and I've had an idea for a book for a long time, and it kind of came together underneath the truck. And well, needless to say, I got to work on it. So I'm working on yet another one. Um, but anyways, you working around them people. You look, if anybody in the military is going to look at this, we military look at things totally different than what a regular civilian looks at it. I'm looking at everything strategically, what's involved on that day that it happened. And I can tell you right now, it just stinks of this was a planned attempt by the people who do not want him in power. They know that they know he's going to win the election. They don't have a snowball's chance in hell anymore unless they rig it again, which is possible. But if they go to rig it again, then there's going to be no doubt about it. I mean, there for me, was the election stolen and rigged last time? Absolutely, it was. There's too much evidence to support that to show it differently. If they do it again this time, then I'm sorry, man. It's I mean, if you don't believe that happened the first time and you don't and they do it again this time and you don't see it, y'all ain't never gonna wake up. You're still gonna be a sheeple led by a wolf to your slaughter. I mean, that's exactly what the hell it is. I mean, I hate to be it any other way than that, but that's just the pure facts to it. Yep. Not only that, Corey, that picture you sent me is a good one. Well, yes, that's the thing. You know, I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on my lives. This is usually something I don't say on my lives very often. What does Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, and John and Trump all have in common? Used to before I never had to say Trump, but now you got to say Trump. What do all four of those guys have in common? Does anybody in there know? So all three of them was trying to tear down the establishment. All four of them, sorry, all four of them was trying to tear down the establishment, and all four had either been. Oh, that's right, I'm on YouTube. All four have either been unalived or almost unalived. Hey, Melissa, I'm actually on Rumble, and I apologize. So I've got to watch my words. I didn't realize I was going live on YouTube as well. But they have all had that in time that happen to them. Anytime that somebody of power tries to take out the establishment, either an attempt or an actual unalivement happens to them. So that's what all four of those got in common. I'm not a huge fan of Abraham Lincoln. I am a fan of some of the stuff he did, not a fan of everything he did. But I will admit he was trying to take down parts of the establishment. Everybody, and I've told this to everybody. I was a Democrat, and I always thought that the Democratic Party was the same as the JFK, and then it was Clinton when I served under as Yankee Whites with Clinton. That's when I started realizing Democratic Party ain't the Democratic Party. It really ain't. And that's where I started getting away from that. I'm not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I'm for the Constitution. I swore an oath August 15th, 1999 on the Constitution to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the people of the United States. I am for the Constitution and I am for the people. Um, I've never made it a secret. I voted for Trump the first time because he was a lesser of two evils. Did I like him? Yes, because he's done a lot for our military. He's done a lot for the common people. I just never thought he'd be a good politician, which I am correct. He is not a good politician, but he was definitely what our country needed, and he's definitely what our country needs now. So, I mean, that's why I'll continue to vote for him. He showed me, he basically opened my eyes to another level above where I was already at. I was already, woken up to a lot of the crap just from what I experienced in the military, and then him coming in his first term really opened up my eyes more to what is actually going on. I mean, I learned a lot in the military how our government is. Our government is the most corrupt damn thing there is out there. They're the biggest drug dealers out there. They they're probably, well, we'll put it this way, they're the biggest mafia out there. There's a lot of shit that goes on that people don't know that's behind the scenes. A lot of shit. But this deal on Saturday with him and that attempt, I covered it a little bit when it was happening because I was live, and then I ended up cutting my live short coming on Rumble to kind of talk. We were listening to it, kind of talking about it then. And I wanted to give it some more time before I talked about it again because I agree with Dan Bongino on this. Never report on it as soon as it comes out. Give it some time. And that's what I did. And I studied the videos. I studied everything that happened. And I mean, all those you guys who was talking with me last Saturday, no, I mean, I was saying it right from then. This was a planned one by the cabal. And I still stand to that to this day. In fact, everything I've learned since then until now has proven that it is still the case and has only strengthened my belief that this is what happened. Law enforcement wasn't in their proper places. They were watching this guy for long periods of time. There was gaps. There was no shielding. There was not enough Secret Service. There was a wrong type of secret. I mean, oh my God. When I watched that one chick try to put her pistol back in the holster and she was waving it around, oh my God, I was flipping my wig. Oh my gosh, I was flipping my wig. Oh, damn, I wanted to reach through that damn TV screen and strangle her. I was like, you are unsat bag of ass. I mean, really, what are you doing in the Secret Service? And the fact that you got these, hey, you want to be gay, you want to be gay. I don't give a damn. That's between you and God. You don't answer to me, you answer to Him. But when you put lesbians in charge and they want to, I want to 30%, you put 30% women in the force. Great, perfect, love the idea. Make sure they're qualified, though. Make sure they're qualified. And them bags of asses that was sitting there that day, shit had no damn business being on that kind of detail. And then you got the head of the Secret Service saying, don't take the shot. What do you mean don't take the shot? The dude's trying to assassinate President Trump. Why are you not going to take the damn shot? And props to the guy that did. Granted, I know he lost his job. The FBI arrested him after it, and he lost his job because he defied orders. I'm glad he defied orders. Yeah, totally, Moon. I mean, I'm serious. Every part of that, the bullshit lies that oh God, I forgot her name. The head of the Secret Service. The bullshit lies that she put out why these areas weren't covered. So let me give you a little tidbit here. If you're on presidential detail and your job is to protect the president, if you have an area that you cannot secure properly, you block that area. If you cannot secure it properly, you block it from the view of the president. So this, for one, the slope on the roof was horse shit. That was complete horse shit from the get and go. I'm sorry. Man, I have made shots on worse inclines than that. That was horse crap. Um, that was mistake number one that told me something ain't right about what's going on here. Okay, so I'm gonna put it like this: either that chick is a complete freaking idiot, complete freaking idiot, or I'm going to stick with what I originally said. And this was all planned to take him out because they know they've lost the presidential election. Trump's going to win that thing. He's got it hands down. They don't give a shit if they get rid of Sleepy Joe or not. Nobody's going to be able to come in and take the victory away. He's got it hands down. Number two is they know that being he's got it, that if he goes in, they're done. With what they've put that man through for the last 8 fucking years, not counting the years or for the last 8 years, they're done. You can't treat somebody like garbage like that and expect them not to come back. I'm telling you guys, things are going to start coming out in the clear, out in the open very, very soon. For some of us, like here in Missouri, the outage was this morning. Everything's back up and running now. So, sorry, man. I still got allergies. I've been out there pulling weeds. So my allergies are like really bad right now. And from what I was hearing in chat earlier, some of the places are still shut down. And according to Aussie Sue, Australia is still shut down. I've been telling you guys, I've been waiting on the 10 days of darkness. Could that have been a test run this morning? Some of them were talking about a 3-day. I haven't heard a 3-day before. I've always heard the 10-day. That's still what I'm hearing behind the lines. But I can't tell you that it ain't possible that there is going to be a 3-day instead of a 10-day. And could that be what's going on this weekend? Yeah, I'm more along the lines. This was a test run to get set up for the new Jasara Nasara system that's coming into play, which will not come in until Biden is out of office. That's one thing that I need to stress. For people who knows what's going on with that, they're just like me. They're wanting it to come in. That will not happen until Sleepy Joe's out of the office. That's where I'm at, Moon. I really believe that. This ain't the first time that this is the second or third test run they've done, and I know everything's in play to kick off. Everything is in play to kick off. The numbers are out. Places are already getting re-educated. If you notice, the news media is even starting to change their narrative. Everything that we've been waiting for it to kick off is being played out now. The news media is eating up Joe Biden. News media is even. I watched the RNC last night. I ain't gonna lie, dude. That speech by Hogan that threw me off. But damn, that was a good speech. They all did good speeches, and you can see the emotion in President Trump's eyes when he talked. And Agenda 2030, yes, Moon. The Republicans' Agenda 2025, I'm not a fan of that. There's things in there I like. There is things in there I like. But there's a lot of things in there I don't like because they're setting us up for if that goes through. My opinion, this is for YouTube. If you're listening, everything's for entertainment purposes only. This is just my opinion on what I see. Hulk was amazing. So the agenda 2025 that the Republicans have in place, to me, feels like it's setting up for a socialistic takeover. There's too much power being given to the president. Too much power given to a lot of other areas. Taking some of these places down, like the Homeland Security and stuff like that, I agree with that 100%. The government has too much damn power now. They have more power now than what they're supposed to have. There's more politicians than they're supposed to have. So people don't realize we are not a democracy. And I freaking hate that shit when somebody says we're a democracy. We are not a damn democracy. We are a republic with a democratic voting system. We are not a democracy. We're a damn republic. And we need to get away from that. They started ingraining that in our heads when we were younger. When I first was in school, my first, probably one third, a little over one third of my life in school, I always knew we were a republic. I mean, it's in the Pledge of Allegiance and everything. It's all there. We are a damn republic. We're not a freaking democracy, and it aggravates me that people thinks we are a democracy. The decisions and the outcomes for our country is not supposed to be weighed on the few, but by the many. And the problem is the few is making up a lot of shit. And yes, they're more noisy than we are because they're violent. And I don't condone violence. I've seen enough death and enough of war to last me 10,000 lifetimes, man. That is absolutely the very last thing I want to see us do. And the fact that these guys are pushing for it, it really bothers me because they don't know. If you haven't served over in a theater, you don't know. It's not pleasant. It's not pretty. It's not fun. It's not smoking and joking. No. Um, but sadly, if I mean, me personally, I know what the outcome's going to be, and it's going to be great, and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be back to the way it's supposed to be. It's going to be biblical based, like it's supposed to be. We're heading into a newer, higher dimension for humankind, a new era, and I like that. But if God forbid, if something slips and something goes wrong, and these other cats get back in control again, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, you can vote them asses in, but there's only one way to get them out, and they've been proving that. Um, and it's not something I like. But so I mean, yeah, that's just I mean everything with the lack of security, the orders being passed down from the head of the Secret Service not to engage, not to do this, to just stand by and let things happen. And a poor guy that you know is sitting in Valhalla now because he was protecting his family. And the other two that um, got a mark that I'll never forget. Man, my heart's out to y'all, to the families. I seriously doubt I'm not a big enough person for them families to ever see me. But if something happens they ever did, man, my heart's out to y'all. It really is. And what Trump's doing to help them out financially was amazing. $6.3 million he's raised for those families right now. That is freaking awesome. Um, which I knew he would because that's how he is. It's never going to fix what happened, but it's going to help. And I knew he'd do that because that's just the kind of man that he is. So, back to the blackout. This blackout thing, it's happening or has happened this morning. I don't know how it is in your guys' areas. Here, it's back up and going. I'm still having issues with Microsoft. It's keep having to readjust every time I type because it's messed it up. But anyways, that's nothing big. Um, I mean, get prepared. So I mean, my advice: have 2 weeks of food and water and gas, if you can. Because when this 10 days of darkness happens, and everything gets brought to the light. What's going to go on? You're going to need it. I'm kind of blessed where I'm lived at. If push comes to shove, I've got ways of getting food and water. Um, I'm blessed when it comes to that. If I don't have gas, then well, I guess my fluffy butt ain't going nowhere. Which I don't care. I don't like going out in public anyways, unless I absolutely have to. So, I mean, that don't bother me anyways. But for those of you who don't, you need to have 2 weeks of food, 2 weeks of water, 2 weeks of gas available. Um, because here soon, when this 10 days of darkness happens, you ain't gonna be able to get it. I mean, everything will be shut down. You won't be able to get it. Now, when this new system kicks in, I'm gonna be a happy fluff guy because certain things I did was set me up. So, um, if you ever get a chance, man, buy gold, buy silver. I really recommend investing in gold and silver. I've got a month's worth of fat on me. Corey, I feel you. I probably got about a year's worth on my fluffy ass. I feel you there. I got plenty to eat out here, man. I ain't worried. What I got out here is a hell of a lot better than what I can get from any damn store, anyways. I mean, come on, you getting shit from which I've known for a long time that the truth's going to be given to you a little bit at a time. And the truth about our food is finally coming out. That is one of the things that's starting to come out, that what you're buying ain't actual food. They're 3D printing food. They're making food in test tubes. I mean, they're doing all this other kind of crap. You know, oh, I can pin these up. I forgot about that. Okay, cool. I forgot I could pin your guys' comments up, so I apologize. I'm going to start doing that now. Get down here. Yeah, yeah. We're all going to be skinnier. Yeah. I know I need to be. I took some time today and was walking around the yard barefoot, and then I got to looking at. I've got so much damn mint growing out here; it's not even funny. It really. Come on, there you go. It's not even funny, man. And that shit's growing up through my ramp. It's growing wild. I got other stuff I can't get to because I need to break down. I've spent all my money on my truck, and I need to get stuff from my weed eater so I can get back to weed eating. Yeah, grass fed beef, man. I love grass fed beef. Love it. Now, one of the things I used to do with my beef is like the last two, 3 weeks before I take it to a butcher, I put them on sweet feed, and I get that good marbling, uh, get that really good marbling going on them. And I tell you, there ain't nothing better than grass fed beef with the nice marbling to it. Yeah, I need to get my with my unfortunately with my physical side of me here lately. I haven't been able to do it, and the financial side of it. But I'm trying to get my gardens turned into raised beds because I can't get down on my knees like I used to, and it hurts to bend over for a while. That's why I was jumping between working on my book and pulling weeds today, because it just my back will get to hurting, or my knees or whatever else. And so I'm trying to get my garden set up to a raised bed, which I want to get. I've got plastic down, which I want to have to redo it now, and then I want to put gravel in, and then I want to make my raised beds and have it about halfway full of gravel. The rest I'm going to have with dirt in it. And then, but there's going to be holes drilled out in it, holes poked in plastic so the water can run through. But the gravel and the plastic was going to help keep the weeds, so I ain't got to sit there and pull weeds all the time. Because I'm trying to make this property self-sustaining as much as possible. I'm really, really working my ass off on that. And then I'm going to start making some herb beds and stuff like that out here too, so I can do my own herbs and everything. I'm trying to get self-sustaining as much as possible. And I don't know if you can hear that, but baby kitty is sitting there on my desk snoring. Um, and I've got some plastic barrels. I've got some plastic, little small plastic barrels. They're roughly 4 foot high, so I can cut them in half, drill out my holes in them, and put some gravel in it, and then put the dirt in on that, the soil in on that, and then I need to go out there where I used to dump my chicken pen cleanings, and because that's going to be really really good now. It's had enough years to get all that nitrogen cut way the hell down. You don't ever want to put live chicken poo in your gardens, folks. That is like straight nitrogen, and it will fry the hell out of your plants. You give it a minimum of a year sitting outside to dull it down, but once that's done, that is some of the best damn planting stuff you can have. You got the straw mixed in it, which helps hold the water. You got all that stuff that goes in there, and then I'll take when every year when I'm done, I take my plants, I pull them, and I put them right back where they were, and that way, all the nutrients and all that stuff goes back into the ground as well. Like if I got a piece that's dying, I break it off, I throw it down next to my plant. That's all nutrients and everything that that leaf has or that part of that plant has. It goes right back into that plant. Just like your grass clippings. People want to blow their damn grass clippings out the road, which is dangerous as hell for somebody like me that goes on a motorcycle. Not counting it, it is actually against the law. But if you put that grass back in your yard, you're going to have grass that's going to be greener and longer, or for a longer period of time than anybody else's has. Plus, you don't have to pay for freaking fertilizer because all the nutrients and everything that plant needs is in what you cut, and it goes right back into the ground. Yeah, that is another good suggestion. Another good suggestion right there. Yeah, that really is. I want something a little bit more maintainable. That's why I've got the barrels. Get some cocoa loco to grow in your veggies. There's nothing better. I'll have to look into that one, Corey. What I like to do is like when I boil eggs, I'll pour that water in with my plants. I'll boil hot dogs, throw that water in with the plants. Um, I'll take anything that's biodegradable, and I'll throw it in with the plants. All it is nutrients and everything going right back into the to your plants, and you're going to have a bigger and more productive plant doing it that way. Why do I want to use a chemical to fertilize my plant when I have the stuff here to fertilize it? Yeah, yeah, and that's why I like snow. People don't realize it. I welcome snow because it puts nitrogen back in the ground. Um, Plus, it helps because I've got artesian well. That's why I like rain and snow. Um, yeah, that is that is right. And that's why I like my chicken coop. I clean my chicken coop out. I'll put that out in the tree line, and I'll let it sit for at least a year. And then when it comes that next time I need some for the garden, well, I've got that I can mix in. I don't like to till. Till kills night worms. I want night worm or night crawlers in with my plants. Like if I go fishing and I got night crawlers left, I put them in my plants. They dig them tunnels, which causes your roots to be able to expand and cause it to grow, causes you to have more production, has you cause you have bigger plants, healthier plants. The event that I mentioned, I'm trying to think which one you're talking about. Are you talking about the Nasara Jasara, the with the 10 days of darkness? Is that the one you mean, Miss Moon? But there's a lot of stuff you can do to help you cut down on your food cost and get healthier food in you. I just learned today that tea bags are bad, which sucks because I make sun tea all the time. In fact, I got some out on the ramp now making because I run out. Yeah, Nasara Jasara. So Nasara Jasara is going to get rid of this Babylonian fiat system that the cabal, your Rothschilds, Rockefellers, your Soros, Schiffs, Schumers, Pelosi's, Obamas, Clintons, Bidens, all them people, Davos, Klaus Schwab, Nohavari, all of them are a part of the Babylonian fiat system. And that basically means those families is what controls the world. So the Nasara Jasara is going to come in and get rid of that. Now, Nasara Jasara is biblical based. Now, for those of you who grew up with the Bible like I did, you're thinking of end times, the destruction of the world, everybody's going up to heaven, blah, 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 type shit. And those who don't are going to go, shit, I'm dead, I'm hurt, bunch of all that crap going on. And I've always had trouble with that. I've always have had trouble with understanding that because I grew up knowing that, Yahweh's a loving, merciful God. And I never could see him doing that when there's a possibility, why isn't there a possibility that could change? And I was always grew up being told there's no going to change. This is what's going to happen. I for one believe that the end times that they was talking about is not what the cabal wants you to know, what King James and the Catholic Church wanted you to believe the end times was. I believe the end days is what's this Nasara Jasar is, and that is the end of the evil and corrupt controlling everybody, which is what will bring in this Nasara Jasara. Will get us back to biblical based. 9, I'm talking, that's rude. That is kind of where I'm at on it. I believe the destruction of the earth and the rebirth of a new earth is not how we were told, but the destruction of evil and the bringing to a new era, a new higher dimension for humankind. And when this Nasar Jasar comes in, everything you paid in taxes, you're going to get back because taxes are illegal. Everything that all your debts are going to be erased because they were brought about illegally. There's so much stuff. I mean, that's why the Chevron law, when it got overturned, when I found out about that, I was so damn happy because it's showing you that is another one of those things that's being brought about to show you the corruption that is going on in our government. But all that's going to be gone. You can literally work 20, 30 hours a week and have more than enough money to live off of. If I go to buy a gallon of milk here and it costs me $1, and I go to Japan, it's still going to cost me $1. Hey, Woo, how's it going? So Nasar Jasar is not just for the United States. This is worldwide. Now, if you guys remember these countries that the people are standing up and overthrowing their government, that was one of the hints on that. No kidding. Oh, I want to hear about that, Woo. I was watching lightning the other day. I love sitting out on my front porch. I'll sit out on my lawn actually. I'll watch the lightning storms come in until they get a little close. Then I'm like, okay, it's time for my fluffy ass to get on my porch. And then I go on my porch and watch it. I love watching that stuff. It was like slow motion right directly in front of me. Oh man, that is so cool. That is so cool. I remember when I was a kid, I was born in St. Joe. I spent part of my life in St. Joe, the other part down here. And I lived on Cudmore Street. I had a 2-story house on Cudmore Street. In fact, my very first paranormal experience happened in that house when my late grandmother visited me. And she told me, Derek, I love you and I'll protect you. You know, my late grandmother was her, and my mom was what kept me alive. When I was born, my lungs were pushed together, so I couldn't breathe unless I was being shaken. So I had to be shaken 24 hours a day to stay alive. So my mom and her mom would sit there and shake me and keep me alive. So when, unfortunately, my late grandmother took her own life. She was very sick, took her own life. Um, Whenever I seen her spirit in that 2-story house on Cudmore, my mom told me I was crazy for a very long time, and give me 1 second. William's messaging me. Um, but I remember one day we had a storm going on. I was downstairs. So man, I went to hauling ass upstairs because I was going to wake up my mom and my brother's dad, my little baby brother's dad, and man, a lightning bolt shot right through the house, right in front of me. I went to a slide and stop, scared the holy living shit out of me. But I've always been fascinated with it. That was what it was like for me too, Woo. Whenever that lightning bolt came down and shot through the house, see, we had the upper story, we had the regular story, and then we had the basement area, and it literally shot all the way through the house and went right through the living room, right in front of me. Same thing for me. It was like time slowed down. I wonder if there's something to that. I need to read more. I need to read up on some cases on that. That is interesting because that happened to you, and that happened to me when I was a kid. I mean, time slowed down. I could literally see myself. I remember my eyes getting wide, my mouth open because I was like, "Oh shit, I'm going to slide right into this." But it was like everything slowed down. The lightning bolt was slow. I was slow. Everything around me was slow. And then when it disappeared, it's like everything picked back up, and I went back to hauling ass upstairs. Also, crowd strike this morning was a test run. Be prepared soon. They're going to shut everything. Yeah, it's kind of what I was talking about, Woo. Exactly what I was talking about. I believe this was another test run for the 10 days of darkness to bring in an Asara Jasara. So a lot of things that lead up to that is one, we know that until Sleepy Joe is out of office, they cannot bring in Nasara Jasara. So we know several rumors, mainstream media, the fake news folks, um, pretty much every single Democrat and their string puller Obama is trying to get Biden out. Um, a lot of interesting things I noticed yesterday when I was watching the RNC is even the mainstream news is starting to get away from the crap they was pulling before, which is a really good sign that this is fixing to happen. So they've turned against him. Everybody's turned against him. The only thing, the reason why I think he's still there is fact because Jill doesn't want to give up her life of luxury, and everybody, eyeing her and her being center of attention. Look at Jill, blah blah blah. All that crap. But their puppet master, Obama, is even trying to get him to step down. So I think he was supposed to today, which I mean, I really didn't think he would. There's still a possibility he could, but he's got to be out in office before all this comes in to play. Yeah, we were talking about that last week, man. Definitely onto something, man. You are for sure. We got to start preparing. Yeah, we really do. Um, we really do. Now, just like any other storm, it's rough. It is rough, but once it's over, everything's clean, everything's beautiful, everything smells better, and that's we're in that storm right now, folks. We're in that storm right now, but the storm's almost over, and what comes after that storm is going to be amazing. It really is. I can't wait. I really can't wait. And there's a lot of talk that Trump will not do his full 4 years term because everything's going to come out where he's actually the legitimate president. They've already, I know there's been a lot of talks going on. It's like, look, they're finally going to admit that everything was stolen. Um, he's going to be allowed to finish his presidency up on this term and be able to run again. Um, the thing they're talking about is being everything happened, they're going to let him run again instead of saying, all right, you already done your 8 years. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's a lot, yeah. Um, they are Miss Moon. They really are. I'm not threatened. I'm not panicking because I know what the outcome is. I know what's already happened. I know what we're getting ready to look at. We just got to live through this pantomime to wake as many people up as we can, and that's exactly what we're living in right now. Is a pantomime to wake people up. Um, this assassination attempt on Trump was a last ditch effort by the cabal for them to gain power because they know if he's able to step foot and everything be done, it's I'm not worried about JD Vance. Woo, I'm not worried about him. I really think Pence was a backstabber. Pence was a traitor. Pence was a fraud. Pence was part of the cabal. I I don't see JD Vance being that way. I'm not worried about JD Vance. I'm really not. Hey, thanks for that. Oh, go ahead. Man, I hope that's popping up on my Rumble. That'd be great if that is. Um, but no, I'm not. I'm not worried about JD Vance. Yes, and that's the thing. That's why you don't see me freaking out about this stuff because everything is going to come out. Everything is happening for a reason to get people awake. This was supposed to happen a couple years ago, but there was more corruption than they realized, and because of that, and the fact that not enough people were woken up to what was going on, is the reason why um, it didn't take effect a couple years ago when it was supposed to. Um, Hello, Ida. Live long and prosper. Um, the reason why they're doing it now because they done decided that no worries, no worries, Ida. The reason why I was supposed to be live on Rumble only, but for some reason, accident. I don't know how in the hell I got connected to YouTube on this. I really, really don't. Um, I really don't know how I got connected to YouTube on this. Hello, Twisted. But yeah, as far as Pence, yeah, he was Judas. Pence was Judas. Pence, big time, was Judas. Pence was a traitor. Is a traitor. There ain't no was. He is a traitor. Um, he really is. But far as I like JD Vance. I really like JD Vance. I was really hoping it'd be JFK Jr., who's actually JFK now. Being senior is uh, walking with the angels. I was really hope that they'd finally come out talking about how Junior was still alive and Junior would be it. But I mean, JD Vance is a good choice. There's a lot of stuff I've read, a lot of stuff I've researched, a lot of stuff I've seen that suggests that JFK Junior is still alive. And when he graduated from college, his first speech was, "I am going to take everybody down who took out my dad." And then that's why they had that attempt on him. Um, really, where we go one, we go all, baby. I'm big on that. That's why if you ever notice when it says Q, whenever Q would say, it'd be funny if JFK was vice president. People thought they meant senior. They don't realize that when senior went walking with the angels, junior now became JFK. So that's something to think about. And in fact, there's a certain little guy that goes to every Trump rally that somehow a part of his face or something like that, like his ears, his nose, or his mouth, or something like that, is always changed. He wears the same outfits, he looks the same, sits at the exact same spot every single time, but something about him's changed each time, and they believe that he is JFK. So I would have loved to have seen that, but him, Junior and Trump are best friends. They were really good friends, really really good friends. So it'd be no, I'm really looking forward to see what's coming to light the next few months. From what I'm understanding, that's honestly twisted. You are you are marching around in my brain. You are you have set up camp in my brain. I've actually been thinking that a lot the last few days. I mean, I known that JD Vance for the last 2 3 days. I've known JD Vance was going to be the VP pick. So whenever it happened and they made it official yesterday, I was laughing my butt off. Um, but you are marching up a very good tree right there with that comment. I really think so, and I think that would be great um, because they can pick up where senior left off. They really can. Um, so I can't wait to see what happens. It's exciting. So some of the other things we need to worry about that's in the news right now. I love watching the sun going down, hitting my trees. I wish I could show you a picture of that. And we got the shadows going across my lawn, and my trees are lit up. Oh, I love living in the woods. Um, yes, I am not a fan of Rubio. Rubio is a rhino. My opinion, Rubio straight up is a rhino. Um, Another good pick I would have liked to seen is Parsons, our governor. I would love to seen Parsons as VP. I really like Parsons. I'm a big fan of Parsons. Um, and the fact that 36 countries have sided with Texas, and it's usually the two states, or not countries but states, have sided with Texas, and the two states that usually spearheads a lot what's going on that's bringing stuff out in the open is Texas and Missouri. I really like Parsons, and so not only do you need to get 2 weeks of food, 2 weeks of water, 2 weeks of gas ready, you need to get yourself ready mentally. Mentally, you need to get yourself ready. That's going to be very important. Um, yeah, yeah, twisted. It's a pantomime, and we're living in a freaking movie. And what we're living through right now is to show you what would happen if the White Hats wouldn't have won. Yep, it's a movie, man. Grab your popcorn, grab your soda, watch it, have a great time. Not all of them do, Twisted. Not all of them do. Majority of them, yes. Majority of them, yes, works for the corporation. A lot of people don't realize the last true president of the United States was Ulysses S. Grant. Um, every president after that wasn't president of the Republic of the United States. It was president of the United States Corporation. We are lost naval commodity belonging to Britain, and that's who a lot of these work for is the British Empire, because the United States has become a corporation. I've told you guys before. There's two types of circles. We live in the inner circle, which is the corporation. Then you got the outer circle, which is the true Republic of the United States. Depending on how you word things and how you do things, depends on, like, even with dealing with law. Um, if a court has yellow fringe around its flag, it's part of the corporation. The yellow fringe around the flag means naval property. So if you got a court system that has yellow fringe around the flag, that means they're part of the corporation. Beefcake. I don't want to say tube steak. I have to. I already said it. It's tube steak time. Yeah. Um, well, there's yellow fringe around there because we're considered lost naval property of Britain. Um, so after the Revolutionary War, the United States was in extreme debt, a lot of freaking debt. And even though France came to our aid and helped us win our independence from the King of England, um, we or our forefathers was like, who do we want to go in debt with? Help us out with a debt. Somebody we know or somebody we don't know. And they end up going and having residing with Britain, and that is where we became lost naval property. That's why we have Social Security card, which is a number, and that number is used to say, oh, this person's going to be worth this amount of money. We're used in trade all over the world financially. That's why we have a Social Security card number. Maritime law, yeah. And that's when you're dealing with the maritime law, Twisted. That is where the corporation comes in. That's why I say if you see court systems with the yellow fringe around the flag, they're part of the corporation, maritime law. But we're literally owned, sold, bought, and traded through Britain. Yeah. Yep, you are correct on that, Twisted. And that's why when everything got fully fledged and put into act was after Ulysses S. Grant, and that's why he is considered the last actual president of the Republic of the United States. Yes. That's why I said I'm not a big fan of Lincoln. Yes, did he try to tear down the establishment? Absolutely, he did, and I give him credit for trying to tear down the establishment of the time. Um, a lot of people don't realize the Titanic wasn't the real Titanic. The Titanic that we think of the Titanic wasn't the one that was sunk. That was a sister ship that was getting ready to be disassembled. If you count the portholes, the stacks, and everything, that would tell you that was not the Titanic that got sunk. The reason why that got sunk was there was 4 tycoons here in the United States that was holding the Rothschilds and Rockefellers back from being able to get a foothold in the United States where we could never come back from it. They were on the Titanic when it mysteriously hit an iceberg and sank, and those 4 tycoons died. It was actually assassination. You take it easy, Miss Moon. Yes. Yeah. Told you, man. Biggest mafia, biggest drug dealers around. Yes. Absolutely, Twisted. Yes, it is. That's why your name is in all caps. Yes. We are a lost naval commodity. We're not. We're considered not. We're neither considered alive nor dead. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. If those who's not ready for this, the Nasara Jasara to kick in, um, they're not going to be happy, um, because they're going to be left behind. Yeah, yeah, and this stuff is a big rabbit hole, and it's, I mean, if you go down it, it takes you a long time, but the stuff that gets revealed to you in it, um, it's really an eye opener on what's going on. Really, really, really big eye opener on what's going on. So yes, they trade us at Wall Street and other places as well. We're more than slaves on two different directions. Not only are we a paid slave here, where you go and work your ass off 80 hours a freaking week, get very little pay because 80% of what you get paid gets taxed, to where you're literally living off of nickels and dimes. But we're also traded around the world on Wall Street. Yes, people don't stop and look at when you pay taxes on the money you make. Then you go out and buy something, you're paying taxes. When you owe something, you got to pay taxes. 80%, 72 to 80% of what you make, you pay back in taxes. Yes, that's why I was saying earlier, Twisted. I highly recommend people to invest in silver and gold. And I mean, I'm no financial advisor. If I was buying silver and gold for me, is the prices jump around so much. So say silver is cheaper than gold right now, I'd put my money in silver. And then once gold become cheaper, I'd switch my investment to gold. Oh, put your investments in silver and gold. If you got a 401k, you can actually transfer that into silver and gold. And I would do that if I was you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am no financial advisor. I am not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just showing you what I would do. If I was to buy silver and gold, I would buy what's cheap at the moment out of the silver and gold, and then switch it up when the other one became cheaper. And that would be the two main things, because the fiat system that's coming in is going to be asset backed, back the way it's supposed to be. It's going to be asset backed. So we need to invest in assets. Sadly, when the Jasara comes in, if like a lot of my retirement's based up in stocks, sadly. And I've tried to talk to our financial people. We cannot switch it to silver and gold like I want to. Actually had a very interesting debate with them, and they tried to inform me that silver and gold is not a trustworthy investment. And where I said, "Yeah, you're part of the corrupt system." And I said, "You're full of shit." I said, "Explain to me how you think silver and gold is not a good investment." It's like, "Well, it doesn't hold its value." I said, "Well, that's where you're fucking wrong there." Because for one, the price always goes up. The you can buy if I buy gold now, it could be, say I bought $20 an ounce of gold. Next week it could be $100 an ounce. So I don't buy it. I go to silver, and then gold will come back down to $30 an ounce. It always goes up. It never goes all the way down. It always goes up. Both silver and gold always goes up. Thank you. That I was trying to remember what else I wanted to talk about. Thank you very much, Twisted. That's what I was trying to remember. I can't remember the company is wanting to buy your ancestry.com DNA crap for 4.2, $4.7 billion. What do you think they're going to do with all your? That's why I never did it. I have never done that DNA stuff. Now, sadly, the military took my DNA. I'd never had an appointment. Um, yeah, no shit. But um, That is that ought to open your damn eyes up. What damn company is that now? It's buying. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. Exactly. Yeah. You can, and that was the argument I made with our financial company that takes care of our retirement. I was like, I can't trade paper, but I can trade silver and I can trade gold. And silver and gold is never going to lose its value. And like, yeah, it is. I said, no, silver and gold will never lose its value. It'll always go up. But let me try. Snow, I've got to put you down, bud. I've got to type here in just a minute. And it's going to be hard to type one handed. What rotten little dog. Try to shorthand it. Hey, Griff, how's it going? Blackstone, that's it. Blackstone is buying Ancestry.com. They now have access. It says here with the purchase of Ancestry.com last year, the private equity firm Blackstone now owns the DNA data of 18 million people. And Blackstone is currently ramping up efforts to monetize the data um, among the companies it owns. What does that tell you right there? You telling me this shit we're not being bought and sold? And think about it. They're behind cloning and everything else like that. They now have 18 million people's DNA that they can clone. Blackstone is an evil, evil company. In fact, that's a good idea. It may take me a while. I'll try to hit some stuff up. There's if you this is part of doing your research here. Um, who actually owns Blackstone? And I believe it's the Rothschilds. All right, the son of a dry goods store owner Stephen Schwartzman founded the private equity firm Blackstone with fellow billionaire Peter Peterson in 1985. And if I remember correctly, Stephen is a descendant of the Rothschilds. I'll have to look that up again too. That's a rabbit hole that'll take me about 4 or 5 hours to get down to the true owners of it. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Griff. That's the only reason why I've ever had my DNA done is because the military took it. Outside of that, I've never done it. But yes, the military takes your DNA because they say it's that way they can find you and locate who you are if you end up in that way. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you actually follow Davos, World Economic Forum, the head of Davos or World Economic Forum that's held in Davos is Klaus Schwab. The one person I always thought could be the damn Antichrist is Noah Havari, his little puppet, his little lapdog, his attack dog, and he pretty much runs Silicon Valley. Noah Havari. But Bill Gates, Noah Vari, Klaus Schwab, and all of them are talking about changing human DNA. You can actually get on YouTube and listen to Noah Vari talk about how human DNA will no longer be a thing and a new Homo sapien would be about that could be hacked. We can now tell you what to think, how to vote, what to eat, what to work, and everything like that. That is straight from Noah Havari's mouth. So YouTube, you don't like it, I'm sorry, you actually have it on your channel. So you can fact check that all you want. Yeah, I'm wanting to say, yeah, it's one of those, but I'm wanting to say he is a descendant of the Rothschild, but I could be wrong. It's either one of those, yes. Yes, the two families are tied together. They really are. So you're 100% correct on that. Yeah, that is where how do I say this without getting in trouble? The certain little thing that shut down a lot of certain places in a time frame not so long ago, and you had to get a certain little prick that supposedly counteract this certain little thing. Um, has all that stuff in there where not only can 5G drop you dead in your, or drop you in the tracks, but also they manipulated the genes, the DNA. Yes. Oops, crap, hit the wrong button. Yeah, pure evil. They really are pure evil. Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, Noah Vari, everybody's favorite little guy. Was in the movie Titanic. Anyways, all of them talk about population control, and a lot of this stuff is what they implemented for that. Yeah, no shit. No kidding, Griff. No kidding, buddy. So the only population they want is the Chinese because the Chinese is already adjusted to being controlled and told what to do. Um, that is the one race that they want to keep around. I'm sorry. Well, I need to talk to you personally about your experiences with that, Penny. That is a very yeah, DiCaprio. Yes, thank you. That's a very interesting subject right there. The 13 families bloodline to the fallen angels. I cannot say they are with the fallen angels. That is I've not found definitive proof of my research on that, but I can say from my research they practice a type of magic that is not very good, and they worship something that is not very good. But yes, you guys are right. Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, he's very big on the World Economic Forum. Very big on there. Yeah, I have to be careful because, like I said, I don't know how in the hell I went live on YouTube. I don't remember attaching YouTube my Rumble. I was keeping it separate for a reason because I could talk more freely. So I'm having to watch what I say right now. That's why I'm kind of like, because I don't want to, you know, I don't know. I don't know if there's even a connection between who I work for. No, there is. Sorry, Penny. There is. If it's got that name on it, and that is a firm that they own, yeah, there is. Yeah. Um, sadly, it is. And just like anybody from Canada, I feel sorry for you because you got that bastard child of oh my god, I forgot his name from Cuba. Yeah, dictator from Cuba. I forgot his name. I mean, I'm brain farting it. That's his illegitimate son. So people don't realize these people that I've been talking about tonight. Um, they're very big in human trafficking. Very big in human trafficking. And they get something that is known as the elixir of life, which is called adrenochrome. And how you do that? How do I say this without getting in trouble? And yeah, Castro. Thank you, Twisted Castro. That's Castro's son. Justin Trudeau is the son of Castro. Um, hey, Kathleen. I'm on Rumble now. I'm actually going live on Rumble right now. Like I said, I don't know why it popped up YouTube on here for a reason. I'm actually live on Rumble. I'm on Rumble Studio talking right now. And that's why I can't put up my little stuff because I'm not on that platform. I'm actually on Rumble Studio right now. I don't know how YouTube got attached to my Rumble because I keep them separate. Well, when my contract was up, I marched into CEO Ken Rothschild. Yep, and asked to keep to be kept on. He was such a great guy, honestly. I'm trying to think how to put this politely, Penny. I apologize. Um, you ever hear the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover"? Um, in 1927 news article, America was sold to 5 billionaires. Yep. Well, whenever that ordeal happened with the Titanic, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going. Hey, Penny, you're on my, you're on my Rumble. I know that's why I'm trying to watch my words. I may, I'm really. Can you guys, can you guys, are you guys a part of my Rumble? Like, I may have to cut this live off and go back on there and fix that because I don't know why I am live on YouTube when I'm on Rumble. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know what happened. I do not. I did not add YouTube onto my Rumble Studio because I'm purposely keeping them separate. Because I can talk more freely on Rumble than I can YouTube. That's why I keep them separate. So when I was going live, I looked up there and I was seeing YouTube, and I went, "Oh crap! How did this happen?" Oh, hey, Kathleen. So on my Rumble is the Bizarre and the Unknown. I'm probably going to have to kick off here and go back live right after and be on strictly on Rumble because I'm watching my P's and Q's way too much on this because of that fact. And I can't type in here. So hey Penny, share my Rumble account and chat please because I can't type in chat on Rumble. So can you type in my I am I am little there twisted. Can you post my Rumble account real quick for me? Being you're in here. Or if anybody else who's got it, can you put it in the comments? I can't type in comments. All right. Because I'm going to have to shut this down. You're absolutely right, Twisted. Get If you guys can go to Rumble, look up the Bizarre and the Unknown. Look me up. I'm going to cut this off and go directly back to Rumble. So give me a second, guys. Don't leave Rumble. I'll be right back. I don't know why this put me up here, but I am. I've got to cut it off of YouTube because we're getting into subjects that is going to get me in a lot of trouble. So, well, I know you're not a mod, Penny, but being you're a member, you can highlight my deal and put it in there for people to see. I can't type in here, so. Um, with that being said, give me a few minutes. Let me get switched over and get this reset up, and then we'll be back where I gotta. Yeah, I mean, you're at 100% right, Twisted. That's why I'm trying to be discreet. But let me close this up. I'll be right back.